Let's talk about another New York lull. We've talked about the assault weapons ban and the high-capacity magazine ban, how much fun those are. Let's talk about another one. And this is a very relevant one to today and these last couple of weeks. And if you go all the way to the end of the video, you'll see why. But today we're going to be talking about CoBIS, which stands for Combined Ballistic Identification System. This is some nonsense where the gun manufacturers, whenever they ship a new gun to an FFL here in New York, must provide a fired case from the gun to the New York State Troopers so they can keep it on file, and then they can do some CSI shit and determine which gun it came from if there is a murder that occurs. Now, let's just ignore the fact that you can use revolvers and not leave cases, or somebody could go to the range and pick up some sprint brass and frame you for murder and stuff like that. Let's just ignore all those blatantly obvious things that just instantly pop into your head when you're making this, and I'm not even the one who writes these fucking things. But let's just ignore all that. Let's talk about some facts, okay? It was introduced in 2002 by Governor Pataki in his anti-gun legislation. He was gonna root out, all the problems. Much like the crime bill did for Bill Clinton, we see how many crimes stopped overnight when he started his national assault weapons ban thing back in 1994. Like I said, world much safer place because we couldn't have assault weapons. That's perfect. I gotta love political spin. But yes, 2002 was enacted. And how much money to date have we spent on this system from our tax money and such like that for things like going to the trooper? When you get a gun fired, you can either get the casing to the state troopers in one of two ways. One would be the manufacturer ships a casing to New York for file, to the troopers for file. A lot of manufacturers come with the fired cases that can be sent there. Like, I think all Smith & Wessons do. I think that Walther did. Something like that. A lot of them come with the fired cases. For myself, when I get a new gun, I'd prefer to have that case in there just to, show that it was test fired. But, it's not a big deal because mine would have to be taken out. What is a big deal? Why it's a big lull and a big problem is if you get a new gun and it doesn't have the case with it, I don't even believe Remington, who is located in New York, provides a case with their firearms, then it has to be sent to the state troopers. Now, if you get a gun, say you order a brand new gun on the internet from, I don't know, Bud's Gun Shop or something like that. I don't know why. This is the first one that came to my head. I don't no particular feeling about them. First one that came into my head. Let's just say you do, and it's a manufacturer that doesn't ship with a fired case. Then, when the gun gets shipped to your FFL, you need to wait even longer after you've already waited for your pistol permit, if we're talking about a pistol here, because, semi-automatic firearm, I will just go with pistol. I know there's lots of semi-auto rifles. We're going with a pistol, all right? That's right, I said we're going with a pistol. So your FFL gets it, and you want to go pick it up that day, and you get a big FU because they need to deliver that gun to the state troopers' firing center around here. And there's not a tremendous amount. Some of you might have to go a ways to get one of these firing center for the state troopers' office. You have to, I don't know what the actual longest distance you would have to travel is, but I hear people having to go 30, 50 miles just to fire somebody's handgun, and sometimes the FFLs charge you a fee for this. The troopers don't charge you a fee, but still it costs us a lot of money because we have to pay for things like keeping track of all these millions and millions of cases. We have to pay for their labor to do this. I don't know if they have a special CoBIS office. Oh, well, they have to have it, for each state trooper office. Put it this way, costs. This is the big problem, okay? Costs. $40 million since it was enacted in 2000. $40 million. But what's the value of a human life? Who knows? It isn't $40 million. It's a lot less than that. What was that? No, I didn't say anything, Governor Cuomo. Anyway, but what is the value of human life Priceless, right? Just ask MasterCard. Now, how many crimes were solved with this big pile of donkey fluid? Since it was incepted, let me get my calculator out here. I got a calculator app here on my Mac. Let me type in a few numbers. All right, you have to carry the 3. And if you account all the crimes that were from the beginning of this year, if you add all the crimes in this year, then we'll even count today. We'll go today. If you count all the crimes that were solved this year, including today, from 2000, that makes the total crimes solved 0. 0. A big fat goose egg. So, $40 million that has not solved a single thing. Not one crime has been solved because it is physically impossible for that to be damning evidence. Okay? It has to do basically when you fire it and you get the case, and I guess they look at different things. They look at the firing pin indentation and the marks left on the inside of the chamber wall. Sometimes you see those detective shows where they'll look at a bullet and they'll see if it came out of this casing and that could have been this gun that fired it. Completely neglecting the fact that you can change a barrel in a gun like that. Completely neglecting the fact that you can change a firing pin just like that, or the extractor, or anything else that might leave a mark on the case. Just ignoring all those facts, you get to something where you might waste $40 million on a system that not only can't solve crimes, hasn't solved a single one in $40 million and 12 years. 0. If we had 5 cases solved, I would say that is the biggest waste of money I've ever seen. If we had 5 cases solved a year, I'd say that is the biggest waste of money I'd ever seen. $40 million for a grand total of 0 convictions is a waste of money. But that must be the New York motto. So $40 million, I can't even get over that. $40 million of your taxpayer money, you of course assuming that you're living in New York, not a free state. $40 million of your money just out the window, and it didn't do anything. Might as well have just thrown it in the Hudson River. Who cares, right? Easy come, easy go. So let's take a look at this New York Post article, what it says about it. Because, like I said, very important in the last couple of weeks. Why? Because as of April 1st, CoBIS has been written out of the budget. It no longer exists in New York. A victory for New York gun owners? That's amazing. It shouldn't even been a victory. It shouldn't even been something we're talking about. I mean, I guess it's a good seedling. I'm not sure how much it's going to grow into here. But it has officially been written out of the budget, so no longer new firearms need to be sent with a fired case for New York and have your brand new firearm fired for nonsense like keeping the cases. But by Governor Cuomo, he officially shot dead Kobus this last Friday. And this gem is one of what his spokesman popped out. I wanted to highlight this because this is brilliant. One of his spokesmen said, wow, that was a weird picture. Wow. Anyway, back on topic. We are ending a program that doesn't solve crimes or make our streets safe, said Cuomo spokesman Josh Viasto, V-I-A-S-T-O. Okay, boy, do I have some good news for you, Mr. Cuomo. If you're talking about eliminating programs that don't keep the streets safe and don't solve crimes, boy, do I have some good news for you. Because in 5 seconds, I can tell you many programs that don't keep us one iota safer. I can tell you how to save millions of dollars and increase the revenue of like the increased revenue for gun stores and stuff like that because people don't have to worry about nonsense. Okay, let's look. The assault weapons ban has not saved a single life. The large capacity ammunition feeding device ban has not saved a single life. Let's see, what's some other... the pistol permit thing has not saved a single life. Get rid of that nonsense! And maybe we can talk about saving some money. Oh, you got rid of CoBIS. That's great. I'm so happy that you got rid of it because, now we don't have to send our guns out to get shot. And, that was $40 million. So why don't we take a look at the pistol permit process? Oh, I can't even imagine how much money is getting wasted in the pistol permit because every sheriff's department and every county has their own pistol permit bureau. We got to pay somebody to work there. We have to pay somebody to work those classes. We got people in the fingerprint office, mental health office, and stuff like that. That's got to be billions of dollars for a pistol permit to exercise your rights. We're talking about Kobus. That isn't even a right to not have to deal with Kobus. We're talking about pistol. Ugh. So yeah, you want to talk about stuff that doesn't solve crimes or make our streets safe? The assault weapons ban. Proof? Nobody in the United States has ever been killed by a legally owned assault weapon. If we're talking about scary-looking weapons, I'd still like to know how many people are shot daily with scary-looking weapons. And on top of that, how many people would have been shot... How many people would not have been shot if that gun didn't have a flash hider or a bayonet lug or a pistol grip, I'd like to see the day when it happens when... Man, I'm going to go on a killing spree today. Oh, damn, I don't have a pistol grip on my gun. Gee willikers! Damn. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to go have bowl of Cheerios. Yeah, I'd like to see that happen. But here's another great line that I've been saying since the start. So is every gun owner that, is interested in the hobby has been saying from the start of this thing. Of course, I didn't live in New York at this time. Yes, I did, but I wasn't into guns at this time. I moved to New York in 2008. So yes, in 2000 I would have been here. Let's see, this is another quote. That is what we said would happen from the start, crowed Tom King, president of New York Rifle and Pistol Association and National Rifle Association member. I think Andrew Cuomo is a very intelligent guy who doesn't want to waste money, and this wasn't working. I'll say that we're wasting money. I wouldn't go so far as to say Andrew Cuomo is a very intelligent guy. He said some pretty stupid shit. But the Kobus thing... Like I said, good start. I'm not going to forgive Andrew Cuomo for all the other stupid shit that he's done, but hey, good job on, saving us $40 million, I suppose. Well, not saving, it's gone now, but future $40 millions of dollars. Apparently it costs $1.2 million a year. Not good. Oh, actually, no. The spokesman for Cuomo said it cost $1.2 million, but the guy for the New York Rifle and Pistol Association said it cost more like $40 million. $1.2 million a year versus $40 million total. I would tend to believe that it was closer to $40 million. I really would, because if we want to waste money, we will do it here in New York. Let's see... It says, ending CoBIS is expected to strengthen the argument against other controversial anti-crime technology, which is microstamping. Oh boy, that's a hoot. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Okay, it doesn't say anything else in that paragraph. So what microstamping is, long story short, is almost the same thing as... Well, no, it's much worse than CoBIS, but it's along the same lines. I.e. nonsense that is not work and physically cannot work. Microstamping is you get a small number engraved on your striker or firing pin, depending on the type of semi-automatic rifle or pistol, and supposedly that number will be punched into every primer that you shoot. And, if they find the casing, they can get the number and track the killer. Why don't you just come out and say, hey, hitman, you want to frame somebody for a crime? Go to a range, pick up somebody's brass, and drop it at a crime scene. Congratulations. Why don't you say, hey, if you guys want to commit crimes, go buy a revolver. Why don't you just say, hey, criminals, all you need to do is take a small file off that number on your firing pin, and then you don't have to worry about it, and the law-abiding citizens will get jerked around. Oh, one of these freaking idiots, I can't even remember who it was. Fuck, I'll probably say it was somebody along the lines of Bloomberg or Schumer. One of those people, I would imagine it is. And even if I'm wrong, I'm sure that they would agree with the sentence, but they said, well, if you're a law-abiding citizen, then you wouldn't even know microstamping is there, so what's your problem? Really, because I think it would go more like this. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I would like to buy that Walther P99. Let's just pick a random gun. Okay, sir, I can't sell that to you. Why? Because you live in New York, and no P99 has ever been made with a microstamping striker. Of course it hasn't! The technology doesn't even exist to do the thing. There are different hardnesses of strikers, for primers, so you may even get a primer that doesn't even mark on it. It's just utter nonsense. Oh my god. But anyway, so yes, that is CoBIS. That is what CoBIS is. It's probably a pretty boring video, but again, you won't have to worry about it now. CoBIS has been written out of the budget until I'm sure we get another genius that wants to put it in here. I don't know, we'll probably have CoBIS 2 or something like that. You must have a picture of your gun on file, and it better be damn good. But I don't know. So that's CoBIS. That's New York Lulz 3. I have many more. Again, you can't ever get enough of the New York laws that come out. But that's Kobus, and it's dead, so I felt that was appropriate to get out there now. Okay, so New York gun owners, rejoice. Let me... I wish I had one of those party streamers that goes... because that's how thrilled I am. I should be jumping for joy, but with the... It's like... We're under 47 tons of shit, and now we're under 47 tons of shit, but somebody took a small bite out of it. That's about it. All right, I'm out. Enough rambling.